You're here because you are being faced with a website that is currently blocked to you. Maybe it's by your school or college, your office, your network administrator, maybe even your ISP or even your government. Well, you come to the right place because we are going to go over the 5 best ways to unblock websites, when you should use each of them, when you shouldn't, and I'll even throw in real demonstrations of each to prove that I'm not just making it up. And because I value your time and appreciate you spending some of it here with me, we'll go through them in order of best to worst based on our testing too, so that we can get straight to the good stuff. You're watching Top 10 VPN. My name, as ever, is Callum. Let's get started. When deciding upon the best methods for unblocking websites, myself and the team at Top 10 VPN focused on several key attributes. The most important, of course, is efficacy, how good at unblocking websites the solution at hand is. However, we also considered how easy it is to set up and use, how fast your connection is while using it, and whether it has any impact on your privacy and security online, good or bad. We also took note of whether or not a download is required to use the method in question, and whether or not it costs money. A whole 20 methods entered our arena of website unblocking combat, but only 5 emerged standing proud as successful and viable means. Now, with that out of the way, let's begin with the very best one. Website unblocking method number 1, virtual private network. A VPN is, broadly speaking, the best way to unblock websites. It may not always be the case, but broadly speaking, it's true in our testing experience. We'll cover the downsides, but first let's go through what makes it so good. For starters, it bypasses every type of web block. Whether done so by URL, domain name, or geolocation, a VPN has the tools to get around it. It's something consumer VPNs are specifically designed to do, something that can't be said about every solution in this video, and it does it well. By connecting to a remote VPN server, usually in a region of your choosing, your traffic is snuck out via a digital tunnel, safe from prying eyes, and successfully fetches you your blocked content. Neither the entity in charge of your connection nor the website you're accessing know exactly what's happening. That security and anonymity is one of the biggest perks to using a VPN for unblocking websites. And don't forget, it's applied to all your device's traffic, not just its browser. Another perk is that with the right VPN, you'll get a huge choice of server locations. If there's a specific website you want to access in a specific region, then you can choose a VPN with servers in that same region for more reliable unblocking. And what's more, that same good VPN will likely have apps for all manner of devices. You aren't just bound to a desktop browser for unblocking websites. You can do it on mobile or tablet, or even more obscure devices like streamers. As I said before though, they aren't perfect. And the big, obvious downside here may well be the reason you're actually watching this video at all. VPNs cost money. Sorry. Well, I suppose the more accurate statement is that good VPNs cost money. Most good VPNs anyway. Look, basically what I'm trying to say is that if you're really serious about this website unblocking business and you want the best and most consistent means of doing so, then you should really consider paying a small amount for a monthly subscription. Setup can also take a little bit of time. It's very rarely difficult, but if all you want to do is to quickly jump into a specific website for a bit, then you probably don't want to be sat waiting for software to download and install, and then you're logging on, and that's all part and parcel of using a VPN, at least the first time that you use one. Also, if you're on a device that doesn't let you install software, like a school or company laptop, then this might be the bit that stops you dead in your tracks. They also affect your browsing speeds too. As the theme you may be noticing here continues, a good VPN won't slow your internet all that much, but a bad one certainly will. You've got to make the right choice. That goes for double when considering the logging policy. Every VPN has one, and some are much better than others. VPNs handle all your browsing data, meaning they have to legally clarify exactly how they do that and what they do with it once it's been processed. We at Top 10 VPN very strongly believe you should pick a VPN service that respects your privacy and does not log your data. However, almost all of them do to some degree. Read our reviews before choosing a VPN and settle for one that aligns with your own principles. Right, enough negativity. Let's see it in action. We're going to take a website that's blocked in the United Kingdom where I'm currently located and try to unblock it using a VPN. The website is NY Daily News, accessible in the United States, but not to me. The VPN is ExpressVPN. All we need to do is connect to a server in the USA. I won't even specify one, I'll let the app decide for me. Then, we refresh that blocked URL, and it's blocked no longer. Simple. And this process will be the same for any website that's blocked to you, although the server you choose may need to change if the website is blocked off to anyone outside of a specific region. Website unblocking method number 2, web proxy. A web proxy is not the most effective way unblocking websites. In fact, it's probably not even the second most effective. We'll get to that one later. But it is the fastest. They're super simple to use and require no setup whatsoever. This is because web proxies run within your web browser. You first navigate to the URL of the web proxy itself, Then on that page, you enter the URL of the website you want to unblock. If it's worked, you're then shown the page that was previously inaccessible to you. They're also completely free and a lot of the time allow you a choice of server region. On a technical level, web proxies function a bit like VPNs. Your URL request is sent off to a remote server somewhere else in the world, which then sends it onto the website you want to access before it's then sent back to you. However, unlike with a VPN, at both of those stages, your traffic receives no extra encryption. That makes them easier to block, and perhaps more importantly, what you're doing can still be seen by whoever is responsible for your network. Some proxies do offer some additional encryption, but it will never be to the same high standard as a VPN. Another big downside is that proxies exist inside a browser tab. That means that the only traffic spoofed by them is the traffic coming from that same browser tab. They also often struggle massively when handling multimedia content. Take a look what happens when we try to watch YouTube with one, for example. The page just breaks. This can happen on any website with features embedded on it. The final downside is an issue of trust. With a web proxy, you're allowing this likely free website to take your URL requests and do with it what it wants. There have been instances of proxy sites taking requested URLs and injecting affiliate links or even malicious code into them without their users knowing about it. You categorically will not get this with any reputable and trusted premium VPN. Still, there are good free web proxies out there, and it's speed that we're here for, right? So let's showcase that. The free web proxy we're using here is Proxium. We've just navigated to it on our web browser with no setup or steps taken, or accounts created, or anything like that. From the region menu, we're selecting the United States. We're then heading to NY Daily News just like before. There's a short delay and the page is all loaded, including the images in this case, which really helps demonstrating the benefits of using a good free web proxy. It's very simple and there's no catches, other than the ones I've already said, of course. Don't use it if you don't want anyone to see what you're doing, and don't expect to be using it to watch movies in 4K. Oh, and please don't share any personal data when you use one either. Website unblocking method number 3, web proxy browser extension. Hey, didn't we just do this one? Not quite. This option functions very similarly to a browser proxy, but comes in the form of an extension for your browser. They're often conveniently offered by VPN services themselves, so they're a bit like a hybrid of option 1 and 2. If you've ever used Chrome or Firefox or Edge before, so basically if you're a human who's browsed the internet, you're likely familiar with extensions. You just add the proxy extension you're interested in from your browser's official store with a couple of clicks and it's all set up. You do have to be a little careful with these though, as some are free while some require subscriptions. You then access them from inside your browser, connect to a server, and now all the traffic from your browser from all tabs will travel via the extension. You basically get all of the benefits of a proxy site with half of the downsides. It shouldn't interfere with loading multimedia on page, it shouldn't slow your traffic down by much, and it should offer at least a basic level of encryption and protection. In fact, proxy browser extensions can often even unblock streaming services from other regions, we found in our testing. I personally wouldn't rely on them for that specific task, just unblocking websites is really what they do best, but it can happen. The big downside for these extensions really is that you should probably be paying for one. Free proxy extensions basically have free reign to process your browser requests and your data however they like. They can even inject ads into the pages that you browse. The upside to this, though, is that most paid-for extensions are created by VPNs, and you get them as part of the package when you pay to sign up for the VPN itself. With that one subscription, you can then choose how you want to unblock a website. You can connect your desktop VPN, or you can quickly toggle on your browser extension instead. Just don't make the mistake of thinking that they're the same as a VPN. They aren't. The encryption you get with one will likely be HTTPS, which is nowhere near as advanced as a full VPN. You also probably won't be offered the full range of server locations as the desktop software. And while it does protect everything in your browser, that's where it stops. Nothing outside of it from the rest of the computer is covered. Also, I'm pretty sure that at the time of filming this, there aren't any browser extensions available for mobile either. For this demonstration, we'll use a free proxy that we trust, HideMe. HideMe is a great VPN that also has a free subscription tier, but you don't even need that to use this extension. We simply install it from the Chrome Web Store, and then type the address of the site we want to unblock into our browser. Just as before, it's NY Daily News. It loads quickly and looks exactly how it would do if you were based in the US yourself. Website unblocking method number 4, the Tor Browser. If you want a great deal more information on Tor in general, I suggest you pause this video and go check out our video comparing Tor to VPN, where we do a proper deep dive explaining all the important nuances. Right here and now, though, let's talk about what makes it a good and bad method of unblocking websites. The Tor browser is a special web browser that connects you to the Tor network. It is a collection of servers known as nodes that are entirely decentralized, meaning they're owned and maintained by completely separated and independent individuals or organizations. Rather than just sending your traffic to one server and onto its destination like a VPN, it instead routes your traffic via 3. As a result, your traffic is heavily obfuscated, meaning the site you are trying to unblock has absolutely no idea who you are whatsoever or where you really are. Each one of those hops also adds another layer of security to your connection, making it probably the most secure solution we've talked about. In fact, it's so good at anonymizing and securing traffic that Tor is the best option for defeating government censorship. If you are in a country with a strict government web censorship setup, then Tor may well be your best option for unblocking websites. And it's 100% free. You're probably waiting for the but here now, though, and you should be. There are some notable downsides that make Tor a lot less practical to use. Firstly, it's very, very, very slow. All that hopping through privately maintained servers means that your browsing slows to a crawl, and forget about, say, streaming while using it. Also, you can't choose what's known as your exit node when using Tor. This is the location of your final server hop, and therefore the country that you appear to be based in to the website you're accessing. That means that if you want to access a specific geo-blocked website, like we've been demonstrating, you may not be able to. It's not available on iOS, and it's also just a browser, so all of your traffic not put through it is left exposed like normal. You also might struggle to get it downloaded at all if you're using a lockdown device given to you by your job or school. Let's take it for a spin and see if we can unblock our favorite website. Here's Tor running on an iMac. We click connect and then wait a bit, and now we enter the URL for NY Daily News. In this instance, it actually loads up just fine for us, which would imply that we've been given an exit node in the United States, or at least not in Europe where this website is definitely blocked. As you saw for yourself, it takes a little while, and there's not a lot you can do about it, or any of the process, really. If you're in dire need of an uncensored internet, then Tor is made for you, but if it's a more casual case of blocked sites that you're facing, then I'd probably consider another option. Website unblocking method number 5, Smart DNS. The instances where you'll want to use Smart DNS are limited. However, if you're in one of them, then it might just be the perfect solution for you. You can find a great deal more information in our video dedicated to Smart DNS, which I'll link to, but here's the abridged rundown. A DNS request is what takes place when you attempt to visit a website. Your request is sent to a server, which is the website in question, and then you'll either return the content you want, or, if you're in the wrong region, you aren't. Smart DNS reroutes only specific DNS requests via its proxy servers in another region. That means that unlike our other solutions, your IP address is not hidden, your traffic is in no way encrypted, and it doesn't even affect all of your browsing, just the requests for websites specified by your Smart DNS service. What sort of websites might they be? Well, almost exclusively streaming services. This is the raison d'etre of Smart DNS. It serves you up block streaming sites or libraries from regions other than your own. It's cheap, it's very fast, and it can be done on any device that lets you fiddle with DNS settings, so that includes things like your smart TV, too. Let's take a look at Media Streamer as an example. This is ExpressVPN's smart DNS product and comes included with every ExpressVPN subscription. On our Mac, we go to System Settings, then click Network, Wi-Fi, and next to the network we're connected to Details. Then we click DNS from the left-hand menu and add the DNS server specified to us by ExpressVPN. That's the setup completed, but how do we know what it's actually done? Well, let's try going to Netflix.com. Would you look at that? We're being shown the US Netflix library, despite being located in the UK. But if you remember, Smart DNS only affects certain websites, because now, if we try to visit Old Faithful NY Daily News, it's still blocked to us. As I said, Smart DNS is niche and may well not be what you're looking for. Hopefully you found what you're looking for here, and you're able to go and get your hands on a VPN to get around the web blocks that you're facing. If you're in a situation where you can't use a VPN though, give some of those other methods a try and see if it gets you what you need. If you have any questions about any other ways to unblock websites, then let me know in the comments, or you can read more about it in our dedicated written guide, which is linked to below. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.